Flying taxis used to be science fiction, but JOBY Aviation is working to make them reality. Are they the next big disruptor in transportation, or is it just hype? JOBY uses what's called eVTOL, or electrical vertical takeoff or landing. As you can see, they're focused more on passenger type of transportation. They have actually partnered with people like Uber, as well as a few other companies. Their goal is to create quiet air travel, electrical air travel for urban air mobility. So in places like New York, and not necessarily New York, but places where traffic can be packed up and take hours to move 2 miles down the road. That's their market, is where they want to increase mobility and utilize that airspace. The aircraft they're developing, as you can see here, is a 4-person electrical vehicle designed to travel over 150 miles or 150 miles of range at 200 miles an hour. The status of the company is they're still in testing, but are expected to start operations by 2025, 2026. They just had a giant jump up in the stock. I'm going to go through why that reason is, as well as any big news that they've had recently. They have deals with Uber, as well as the U.S. Air Force and Delta Airlines for specifically to partner with Uber into the Uber app, the U.S. Air Force for Agility Prime contracts, as well as Delta Airlines for air-to-city transport. This is a really unique company because similar to the way Uber started, they're doing the same in the airspace and taking advantage of unutilized airspace in areas that travel on the ground or travel by road are not feasible and or efficient. As you can see here, what their design is, they want to take what would have been a 49-minute drive and take it down all the way down to a 7-minute travel through the use of air. There's two really interesting parts about this company. Number one being how quiet it is, especially in an urban environment. People that typically have tried to take advantage of airspace before, like Amazon, even here in College Station, Amazon was using drones to deliver packages for a few years. Then they received enough complaints that they actually were forced and encouraged to shut it down just because of the noise level, as well as the vertical takeoff and or landing feature of this plane. They say that they want it to be quiet enough to land in a neighborhood, although theoretically with the vertical takeoff and or landing, you would actually be able to land in somebody's neighborhood or in somebody's yard, if obviously they had the regulation for it and or the enough room. But just very interesting that they're posed to be able to do that. As you see here, for a few of the key reasons that it jumped up recently, I believe it went from past 6 months, it's gone from a close to $6 average price to hitting above 20 at points. So very big jump up recently. Some of the reasons for this are going to be Dubai operations. Everybody knows a lot of rich people in Dubai, as well as a lot of people just in general living there, so traffic's bad, I assume. Big commercial market there. Middle East, Saudi Arabia, same kind of thing. A lot of rich people, a lot of people in general, as well as some areas of lacking infrastructure. And then you have the White House FFA program. The White House is actually launching a program to help accelerate the vertical takeoff landing part of it, so that's an interesting one. And then some of the strategic partnerships that are interesting are Toyota with $250 million investment. Interesting that Toyota would be in there. And then they actually bought the Blade Air Mobility's passenger business and gave them infrastructure and customer bases that they previously hadn't had, because they actually don't have a product yet. They're still developing their product and trying to find their base, which is interesting. So, yep, as I said, company hasn't sold anything yet. There's still pre-revenue, but Very interesting company, and crazy that it's still pre-revenue, having been founded in 2009. Obviously a lot of regulatory and certification risks, but they are posed and poised to be on the forefront of this kind of technology compared to their competitors. But yep, I just wanted to make a similar video as I did for OKLO, OKLA, whatever you want to call it. I have not invested in it too much, particularly because of the volatility in it, as well as things like the summary ratio, or excuse me, analyst rating being very low, no revenue, as well as just the sudden volatility and kind of drop off from where it was. It hit above 20 and then it dropped all the way down back to 13, 14. So haven't invested in it yet because I really haven't found the baseline for it, as well as I don't see it moving within the next few months very much, unless there is even more deregulation, or massive developments in it. But again, that is speculative and hard to time, especially in something as interesting and new as this, but wanted to put it on y'all's radars because it is very interesting technology and on the forefront of ride sharing, if you will, but in an aerial space, and they've been partnered with Uber, so a lot of that knowledge I'm sure translates, and I'm sure they can help them out in that sense, but very interesting company. Thank you.